Hello everyone, welcome back to another installation video, and in today's video we have this 2021 Hyundai Sonata and we're going to install the taillight tints for this vehicle. So as you can see, this is how it looks before the installation for the taillights, and this is how it looks after the installation. The tints will provide protection on the taillights from any small scratches or any road debris that might hit the taillight, as well as prevent the lenses from yellowing over time. And if you like the product, link for the product will be down in the description below. But with that being said, let's get started with the installation video. So before starting the installation, we want to make sure we clean the taillight lenses. So we're just going to use our slip solution and make sure we clean the whole entire taillight. So we're going to apply a slip solution on both the lens and on the taillight. And with this one, you want to start aligning it to the edge here. Make sure you match it to the edge and it's still aligned on the bottom half here of the taillight. And then this part is just going to overlap to this side. And for this piece here, because it is a curve on the taillight, we are going to help the film mold to the curve. So we're going to apply tack solution and heat once we get to this area. But for now, we just want to make sure this piece here is tacked down. So just grab your tack solution, apply tack solution underneath and on top. Tack it down in place and make sure you just follow along the design of the tail light. So just keep going and make sure it's aligned. So it's aligned, and make sure you continue the curve and make sure it's aligned to the tail light. So now that we have this piece secured, now we can move on with the upper piece here. So all we're going to do is just peel the film just a bit, apply your tack solution behind the film, and then start helping the film mold to the curve of the taillight. And you could do this method here where you're just applying the film and tacking it down. So you could go with both hands like this, squeegee, and go up, and like that the film starts molding. So you can use both your hand and your squeegee to guide it. Make sure you're aligning it and going based on how the taillight is. So just like that. And then if you do see that the film is lifting on the edges here because of the curve, all you need to do to remove the lifting on the sides here is apply tack solution and a little bit of heat. And that should remove the lifting on the tints here on the sides. So just apply tack solution behind the film here and behind here. And then start applying heat to help the tint mold to the curve here. You just want to take your time when doing this. Make sure you don't crease the film, and then just do it with your finger. Slowly, little by little, help it mold. And then right here, the same thing. Just add a little bit of heat, and then with your finger, just tack it back down. And you just rinse and repeat this process until the tint starts molding to the curve. And then just make sure there's no water bubbles on the back of the film before we completely seal the edges here. Once we ensure that we remove all of the water bubbles from the back of the film, now we can seal the edge here all around the taillight. Just apply your tack solution to help start sealing the edges, and then with heat and your microfiber towel, so now the next step is the same procedure as we did with this one. Just apply slip solution on the lens and on the tint. It's going to be like this. The more longer piece is going to go on top here, and this edge here is going to reach to this end here. So it's going to look something like this. So just make sure you align it. Once you see that you have it in position, the next thing is just applying your tack solution on top and underneath the film, and start tagging it down in position. And then one hand just hold it in place and just start squeegeeing. Now with this one, you're just going to require just a little bit of stretching, just so it meets the edge here. Just lift the film. You could apply tack solution since it doesn't require much stretching, and then just stretch just a bit until it meets the edge here, and start tagging it down. And then just tack down the rest of the film. The next step, once you finish tacking this piece down, is we're going to apply tack solution one more time, just to ensure that we secure the tint in position and it doesn't start peeling. So once we apply our tack solution, go all around with heat on the edges to help the adhesive activate. Okay, now that this piece is secured, now we can move on with the next piece, which is this piece here. Okay, so for this installation, it is a two-piece method. So the one we're going to install first is the bottom piece here. So apply your slip solution Make sure you apply it on both the lens and on the tint, and then just align it to the edge here. And then once you have it aligned, apply your tack solution underneath the film and on top. That way the squeegee glides perfectly without creasing the film. Hold it firmly with one hand, and then with the other one start tacking down. Once it's tacked down, it doesn't move anymore. And then now I can start squeegeeing the rest. The next thing is just stretching the film here just a little bit to the corner here. So it doesn't require much stretching. So we're going to do the same thing. Remove the film, apply tack solution, and then just start stretching just a little bit to help it form here, and then start tacking down with your squeegee. And now that we have it in place, the next thing to do before we move on is just applying tack solution one more time and using our heat and a microfiber towel to seal the edge here. That way it doesn't lift when we apply the top piece. Okay, now we move on to the top piece here. So with this last piece is just applying slip solution on top. And with this piece is just gonna cover the red trim of the tail light. So what you're gonna do is just align it right on the edge, and it's just gonna be on top of this, just on the border of it, just barely touching the design of the tail light here. Start tacking down, hold it in place, and squeegee. Now that we have it in place, we're just gonna apply tack solution again and apply heat and make sure we start sealing off the edge and helping the film overlap to this end. And that's it, you're done with this piece here, and now we move on to the bottom piece, which is here. So now that we finished installing the tail light piece on that end, we can start on with installing the middle piece. So what we want to do is just apply slip solution on the tail light piece, just enough so when we have the film here, we're able to align it and move it around to the position we need it to move. Just apply slip solution on it as well. And you can start from either end. So we're going to tack it down here. You just leave it in place and then start placing the film down. Make sure it's aligned to the edge. Once you have it aligned, apply your tack solution underneath and on top of the film. Okay, once you apply tack solution, start tacking it down. And then just continue on, making sure it's aligned. And now that we secured the whole tint to the tail light, we can just start tacking down with more pressure. And then the last thing to do is just apply tack solution again and apply heat. That way we seal the tint and it's not going to lift over time. And once you finish installing the whole tint piece on both ends of the tail light and the middle piece here, the last thing is just pulse heating all around. That way we secure the tint to the tail light and it doesn't peel over time. So just apply tack solution all around. And then with heat, just start sealing all the edges. So that concludes the installation video for the taillight tints for the Hyundai Sonata 2021. We hope that this video helped you guys out with the installation. Don't forget to give the video a like, make sure to subscribe, and don't forget to turn on that notification bell, that way you don't miss any upcoming installations. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next video.